Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. You are welcome to our lesson, in fact, our last lesson on coordinate geometry 2. Okay, and if you remember in our last meeting, you were given this assignment to do. So all that we are going to do today in this lesson will be going to be a very short lesson. So I'm going to walk you through the solution to the assignment, and this was the assignment. Okay, and as always, and as usual, I will address all the concerns, the major concerns that I noticed from your presentation, so that in next time when you see questions like this, okay, you will know exactly what to do, the do's and the don'ts. Okay, so quickly, let's go to the solution. And you were asked to find the equations of the tangents, okay, and the normal. So this was the question. Let me go back so that we have a look. So this was the question. So find the equations of the tangent and normal to the circles. So here it is the circle at this point. Okay, the point came with a name. So like I told you, there is very, very necessary for you to draw. Okay, so those of you who didn't draw, I don't know what the plan was because I specifically told you were advised. Please draw your circle and your tangent and indicate your point. It's the center that you can't, okay, fill in now or put it there because you are now going to find it. So in this, you are going to find the center of this equation of a circle, this circle. So what do? You have to move this one to the side because in your mind, you know that you compare this given equation, okay, with that of the general equation. And the general equation, like I said, everything is on one side equated to 0. X squared, y squared coefficient should be 1. Thankfully, coefficient of x squared and y squared 1. But unfortunately, okay, we don't have everything, okay, on one side equated to 0. So it means this has to be transformed. So you move these two terms, okay, to this side, and that gives us this. So you call this equation 1. Now you come and compare equation 1 with equation 2. And please, this point came with a name, so the P must be here. You cannot put the P here. Okay, the name of the point comes before the coordinates. It is not the coordinates, okay, then after that's the name. Take notes. Okay, so at this point, if you compare your 2j, which is the coefficient of x here, will be equal to the coefficient of x here, which is minus 2. 2f, which is the coefficient of y here, should be equal to the coefficient of y. So you've equated the coefficient of x and the coefficient of of y, and you solve. But don't forget to write this again before you divide. So at this point, you get j and f. And please take note, the center is minus j minus f, not jf. So those of you who wrote negative 1, 2, at this point you are doomed because it's the same is this wrong point, the point that will be wrong here, that you are going to put here and use it for the rest of your work. Okay, so it means, please, finding the center, take your time and get it right. Like I always say, it holds the key to your future. So here the center is minus j, which is minus 1, 1, minus f, which is minus 2. So equation of the normal. Now that you know the center, you can find the equation of this line, which is the normal. So the equation of normal is given by y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So now that you've quoted the formula, we know that we will need m, which will be the gradient of the line joining these 2 points, and x1, y1 will be any of the 2 points. But like I said, preferably this one. Okay, or if you are sure to, you can go for this one. So m will be changing y over changing x. So I decided to take this as my y sub x sub 2, y sub 2, x sub 1, y sub 1. So my center coordinates will be the sub 1s, and my point here of the points of intersection of the line, the tangent and the circle, okay, is what I am taking as my S2, Y2. So it will be changing y2, which is 2, minus y1, minus 2. So it will be 2 plus 2. Then over x1, which is minus 1, minus, this is S2. S2 minus x1. So it will be minus 1, minus 1, which is what we have here. So in effect, we are going to get 4 over minus 2, which will give us what? Negative 2. So once you know m, you go and substitute your m, and you pick, let us know which point you are going for. So I went for P. So at P, and I told you, once P has a name, okay, you can choose to write only the P without the coordinate. It implies, okay, if you want to write the coordinate, then write it with a name. Don't write only the coordinate without the name. Once the coordinate comes with a name, anytime you are extracting it, extract it with the name. Okay, so you can choose to write P, but not the coordinates. Okay, but you cannot choose, okay, to write the coordinates, but not P. You can also write the P and what and the coordinates as well. So please take note. So at this, you are going to get, and some of you took this as your y1. Please, this is x sub 1, the x coordinate and the y coordinate. So y minus y1, your y1 is 2. Is equal to minus 2 into x minus your x1 is minus 1. So it will be minus minus. So please take note. So it will be plus what? Plus 1. So at this point, what do? We come and remove the brackets. And you know, I told you specifically, make sure your equation, it is the x term that must come first. Your equation must be of this form. I told you, it is always ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. So your x term, so your a should be greater than 0. So your x term, that's the term that you start with, followed by your y term, then your constants. Okay, it's equal to 0. So here our s is negative. So you are supposed to move this one to this side, not these two terms to this side. So you move all the terms here to this side because it's negative. Please take notes. So if you move here, you have to write the y term, sorry, the x term first. So it will be minus 2x followed by your y. Your y, it will still be here, so it will be plus y. Then you know that this negative 2 will cancel the negative 2, or let us say if you move it here, it will be negative 2 plus 2, and that will give you 0. You don't write it. It's equal to, you moved everything to this side. So this side is left with 0, is the equation. Okay, so now we know the equation of what? Of the normal. We are going to look for that of the tangent. So that one too, you quote the formula. So equation of the tangent, okay, is given by y minus y1 is equal to minus 1 over mx minus s1. So you know your m, a very pretty one, though it has a negative, it was an integer. So in this case, to be at p, like you can see, I didn't write the coordinates. I know the coordinates, okay, minus 1 for the x sub 1, okay, 2 for the y sub 1. So it will be y minus y sub 1, which is 2, is equal to minus 1 over m, negative 2 into x, okay, minus x sub 1. So x sub 1 is negative 1, so it will be minus minus, so it will be plus 1. Okay, then now, okay, what do? You know that this negative will cancel this negative, then you come and clear the fraction. So it will be each of the terms here times 2. So this times 2 will give you 2y, this times 2 will give you minus 4. And when this and this cancels, we will left with only 1 multiplying this, so 1 multiplying any number is the number itself. So we get x plus 1. But here, the x is positive. You know, everything on one side equated to 0, but s term first, followed by the y term, then the constants. But the x term must always be positive. So please, those of you who left your x term in negative, you know, you were taught the right thing to do. So learn to do the right thing. So at this point, this time around, you maintain the x term here. So always let the x term guide you as to where, okay, which direction you are supposed to move. So here it is positive. So I will move these two terms to the side. So it will be x. Okay, then my y term will come, but it will move cross this equal to, so it will be negative 2y. Then I'll go and get, this is already here. I'll rather move this one here. So it will be 1 plus 4, which will give me 5. So it will be plus 5 is equal to 0 is the equation. So this is what the simple, and I expected everyone to get it right. Most of you got it right anyway, but for, okay, 1 or 2 things, I think all of you would have gotten it, okay, right? So please take note. You don't have to get it wrong. Okay, this is just a formula way. So from the beginning, take note, it's the center that is critical. Make sure your center is right. If your center is wrong, okay, marking becomes very easy. If you get anything, maybe you get something for the formulas that you quote. Okay, but the rest will be 0. That's if your center is wrong. Your gradients will be wrong, and therefore everything after that will be wrong. Because this involves the gradient, okay, which will be wrong, and the other one to involve the gradient. Finding the gradient will involve a wrong value, so it will automatically be wrong. Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, please take notes And as always, make sure you go over your notes. Okay, the videos are there on the platform, so go over where you have issues. Okay, try on hands-on past questions and make sure you are fully grounded, okay, before you come back to school. Okay, so I am most grateful for watching the video and your time with me. Okay, bye bye.